Just in relation to that girl, that Romanian girl that was murdered a few days ago in Limerick. Already we see in the media they're trying to minimise her death or take away from the, you know, the severity of her death by saying that she was a sex worker. So in other words, you know, she put herself in that position. But the man that killed her didn't kill her because she was a sex worker. He killed her because this was a woman who was in a vulnerable position. He knew he would have had this girl alone for as long as he needed to kill this lady, and he stabbed her repeatedly. Now, he would have done this with any girl. It just happened to be this lady that he happened to kill that day. And I was reading that she had 4 young children. So they're 4 children that will never see their mother again. Now, I didn't know this girl. Her death, you know, was not going to affect me. I'm not going to lie. But nevertheless, she was a human being. And she's no longer with us. She's no longer going to be able to raise her children because of the government's policy in this country. This man who came in here was an Afghan. He was here since 2020, I believe. So his asylum claim would have been processed by now. And he probably appealed and appealed again. And he was still here. And that gave him time to kill someone. Now, this happened last year in Sligo. 2 gay men decapitated. Nothing said in the media about it. It's like it never happened. And the same thing, 2018, a guy from Egypt stabbed a Japanese man to death in Dundalk after he was released from Garda custody. When they knew he was illegal, instead of bringing him to the airport and deporting him, they told him to go down to Dublin. And later that day, he stabbed the Japanese man to death with a fence pole in Dundalk. Again, he was sectioned under the Mental Health Act, so there was no trial. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy who killed the 2 men in Sligo is also sectioned under the Mental Health Act. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Gardaí are not going to be pressing too hard to get this man back into the Republic's custody. He's up in the north at the moment, the guy that killed the girl in Limerick, because they don't want this. They just don't. It's too much bad publicity for them. But you know, there's 166 TDs in Dáil Éireann inflicting this damage on our country. You know, bringing in untold numbers of people when most people are clearly against it. And when the people try and call them out or talk to them, they just won't speak to them. They won't speak to them. They point blank refuse to speak to the people. I'm sure we all seen the video there. That lady down in Cork had to make an appointment under assumed name to see Mick Barry, and he just wouldn't talk to her. So we have the people making these decisions, and when people raise their concerns, they're just ignored. Instead, what happens is these politicians get onto their lackeys in the media, and the media call them out. They call them far right and all these different names, you know, to try and smear their characters. Now, this is not the country that I want to see going forward. This is not a democracy. This is not the country I grew up in. A few days ago, Bertie Ahern was on the Late Late Show, and we all know Bertie's a crook. But that outraged the left. That got their ire up. Nothing else would, you know, all the fucking shit that's been going on the past year. No, nothing. As soon as Bertie goes on though, they feign outrage over that when they're all fucking crooks themselves. But yeah, we have these 166 people. What they're doing to this nation is absolutely shocking. Bringing in this nonsense into libraries, you know, books, perverted books aimed at children. 12-year-old kids. When I was 12, I was watching the Bugs Bunny cartoons. I didn't know anything about sex. And you know, this is the nonsense that they're bringing in. The perversion, trying to teach little kids in primary school that they might need to, you know, get puberty blockers, or, you know, messing with their minds when they don't know what they are at that age. All unnecessary, all nothing to do with education. This perverted agenda being pushed by these same 166 people in Dáil Éireann. We need to see these people as the enemy. Not one of them is good until they start speaking out. and calling out this shit for what it is. None of them are good. Now we have to see these 166 people as the enemy and treat them as such. Don't have to go out and hurt them, but just if you see them on the street, shun them, blank them. Don't see any of them as any use whatsoever. And that's the way, you know, that's the way this is going to change. Like Captain Boycott all those years ago, people just blanked them. They wouldn't have any dealings with him. They gave him the silence treatment and the man had to leave. That's what we have to do with these fuckers in Dáil Éireann. They have no mandate to do what they're doing to this country. Now, none whatsoever. And I'm just, you know, I was up all night there. The anger, just thinking about the fucking, what these people are doing to our nation. And that girl, what happened to her down in Limerick. All unnecessary. All because these people here, these spineless people, for whatever reason, are destroying our nation. Their own nation. I can't understand it.